Sorry, I muted. Is
We
Cannolis
are
bark really
officially
annoying, or is
on,
it
sir.
okay? Is my dog barking too much in the background, or is he doing all right?
No, your dog is fine. Doesn't matter. But, sir, we have to get right into this. I am sick of health and fitness trends, and I think we have to, partner up with Google Gemini, figure these trends out, and
An
either
an
debunk,
unofficial sponsor.
unofficial sponsor, YouTube and Google are in cahoots, so it's okay. I think we just got to talk to Gemini, see what trends we got, and then, either debunk or agree and go from there. What do you think, sir?
I like it, but before you even enter into the chat to ask Google Gemini what are the latest fitness and health fads and trends, I want you to also try to make it specific to the things that we see on social media.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
About, we're scrolling on social, swiping on TikTok and Instagram, and then all of a sudden some BS TikTok and Instagrammer that isn't the Glute guys hops on there and says some BS stuff about some bull spit and stuff about health and fitness.
Let's go. Okay, so here's our friend Gemini. Everybody, if you haven't met, this is Gemini. What we will ask: what are some health and fitness trends? Oh, what are
on
the
social
top
media?
10? Oh yeah, on social media. Let's do that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna
Let's see what it's.
We're sick of them. This has been too much. They've had it too good for too long. Analyzing future trends. What are we talking about here, people?
Oh, if we're doing that, then we're gonna pull up my portfolio and go over the stock market.
Interval walking? I have never heard of interval walking in my life. Sir, what do you think about that?
It's called Japanese walking.
Yeah, I have literally never heard of that in my life. Interval walking, Japanese walking.
Let's tell Gemini for episode's sake, we want to make this simple. I don't want it to be us reading paragraphs. Ask for bullet point short top 10 trends.
I mean, sir, I was thinking we just talk about what we have up there now. So we see interval walking, Japanese walking. Let's just go into it. What do we?
Okay, I've never heard of it in my life.
It just says alternate between 3 minutes of fast walking, 3 minutes of slow walking. What do you think? Is that beneficial? Is it going to have long-term positive or negative effects?
Listen, I've said it many times on our episodes over and over and over again. Mobility is good, walking is good, getting up and moving is better than nothing. It's going to change your heart rate. Listen, if you're someone who's not so active, if you're more of a sedentary type of person, if you're not really a runner, or if you're, somebody who's got injuries to the body, and all you can do is really walk at a changing pace, might not be a bad move. It's going to change it. There is research that shows that if you do a type of cardio where you change your heart rate, it's actually better for exercise and fat loss. It's challenging your system a little bit more. So I don't hate it.
Yeah, so something like a high-intensity interval training is going to probably be more beneficial than a steady-state interval training. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but more, instead of staying at one consistent pace the entire time, if you speed up a little bit and then slow down for a little bit, exactly how they're describing, overall, it's going to be a better workout. Let's say you walk at a steady pace and then you speed walk at a steady pace for a couple more minutes, just like how they're saying. Overall, that's going to be more conditioning for your heart.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. Hold on, I think that we're having some technical difficulties here. Told me to do something different for our output. Sorry, people. Obviously, this is our first stream. I think it's okay now. Anybody watching, if you feel like the quality is not very good, please let us know in the comments. Sorry for this little sidetrack here. It told me to improve the buy rate, sir, and I do not know what that means. But I did.
It just says do better, Aaron. Just do better and be better.
It says that we want to stream buy rate of 6,800, and that's what we're supposed to be at. But sir, why don't you? So you talked a little bit about this interval walking, a little bit about interval training. Do you do either one? Do you do any steady state exercise? Do you do any interval training?
To be honest with you, cardio is where I slack, and I'm sad to admit that cardio is where I lack, only in the sense that I just go on a lot of steady state walks right now. I take the dog, as you can hear him in the background. Um, I take him for walks around the neighborhood. I really need to start running and jogging more. Something I've lacked on for a while, and I've always joked and said, "Oh, who does cardio? Not me." So I think that's something I need to work on a little bit. Not that it's bad, I do steady state walking, but I go for like 45 minutes to an hour. So length of time is there. Um, but I should probably start to mix in a little bit of
All right, so
that running and jogging.
I will say our stream health is now healthy, whatever that's supposed to mean.
Oh, I'm happy you took it to the doctor.
Uh, Sir, how about, because we got a little off track there, shall we just go right into our next topic, which is hybrid training?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could both agree that, any kind of interval walking is good. So let's dive into the hybrid training then. Lead us in.
So basically, what Gemini said, we have to bring it up. The hybrid athlete trend is huge on Instagram and involves training for two seemingly opposite goals at once, like training for a marathon while training for heavy powerlifting. What do you think, sir?
I feel like those are two extremes that require different. I don't know if you should train for the both of those at the same time. Be impressive if you can run a marathon and also be a very competitive power lifter. Um, I would say that a hybrid training sense of balancing out some good weightlifting with some cardio is better. I don't think that training for a marathon and then going trying to power lift is a good idea.
Yeah, I think that hybrid training is a viable option, but you have to know what you want to do. Like hybrid training for CrossFit, like a high rocks competition, is what you need to do. You need to run, you need to lift heavy, you need to do all those things. But if you want to be the top of your craft for marathon or heavy lifting, you're not going to be if you do both at the same time. Your body's just going to specialize to one thing, or you'll be like a master of none. Like you can have a pretty good marathon time and a pretty good like deadlift, but you're not going to be great at either one.
Yeah, it really depends on what you want to do. Could I go train for a marathon right now? I also like to do some powerlifting and stuff in the gym. Yeah, but I'll probably see some changes in my overall workouts, my PRs in the gym. I can guarantee you that I am in no shape to be able to run a marathon at a decent pace.
Like you're most likely not going to lift super heavy when you're marathon running or doing that stuff. You're probably going to lift lighter because I mean your body can only do so much. I mean there are people that do it, but they're also not always the top of their specific thing either.
No, and when you're trying to train for both, and if you try to do so at a high intensity, at a high level rather, you're going to risk more injury. You're not giving your body the appropriate time to recover. You're not only straining just the muscular system, but you're straining your cardiovascular system. Like there's a lot of like health risks that can come from it. Now, listen, if you're someone who's like young and healthy, will you be okay? Yeah, probably. You're still risking like the muscular injuries and stuff too. But as you get older, you got to make sure you also give yourself some time to recover on some of those days too. And if you're just going crazy at everything, nah, you're gonna risk some injury. Just
So I guess the question is, well, for you in particular, do you do this type of training or do you do a different one? I know you sort of mentioned before you mostly do strength training.
And yeah, no, I mostly do strength training right now. That's like, like I said, I go on walks around the neighborhood right now with the dog for like 45 minutes, me, the dog and my fiance. But it's something I need to kind of work in a little bit more is like some of that hybrid training because it is overall good, but they can't be two polar extremes. They just kind of have to complement each other in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you don't do one, you're gonna miss out. That's the problem, and that's why you said too that you need to be a little bit better with it. Walking is always a good thing as well, but
Yeah, nothing. I'm not hating on it.
yeah, I'm almost the opposite ish. I don't really do conventional strength training that much. Like I don't really do bodybuilding. I every once in a while I'll do some bodybuilding exercises, but I just do so much weird stuff that I really don't just do specific strength training any one day. I do, like, I guess, a decent amount of calisthenics, but like my workout yesterday was I have like two maces, a light one and a little bit heavier one, and I basically did like a flow with the mace, and then transitioned onto the parallettes where I did basically like push-ups, um, some weak attempt at a planche or a bent knee planche, and added that into rolls on the ground. And that was like 40
Sounds
minutes
like my
of
friend
just
who's
continuous
training for a
sets.
Spartan race.
Yeah, well, that's not even Spartan race, sir. I'll be honest with
I'm
you.
messing, I'm messing with you. I'm
I
messing with
am
you.
training for a Spartan race,
There it is.
but that is not what I was going for with that. Like I was really just like I was trying to do stuff that I like to do, and it's probably going to help me get stronger. Like the big thing with the mace and the parallettes is they're really good for shoulder stability. So that's sort of my thought process behind it. And the mace I've been doing more because I think my shoulder mobility could probably be better. Like mine's not terrible. I still have full range of motion, but I would like it to be a little bit better. And then when I think of parallettes, I feel like my scapular stability isn't as good as it could be. So that's my thought
You
process on
always
that.
did some really like unique like style workouts like that. Like you're one of the only people I know who owns like their like the parallettes and stuff like that. But the workouts, like I've done the workouts with you, and they're hard. They're like just completely different. It's a very specific style of training, but it is hard. And
Yeah.
like the times that we worked in, I sweat my butt off. In your gym while we're doing it. So they're definitely good. And you know, at the end of the day, it just comes down to just you find something that you like and you go and do it and you make it a workout. You know, you can always try to better things as we go, but as long as you're finding something that you're doing, you're adding in different types of movements and workouts, and there's nothing like wrong with that. You got to think of it as like think of all of it as like you want a balanced diet. You also need a balanced workout. Like, you know, you need to have your carbs, your proteins, your vegetables, you get all your vitamins and minerals. It comes to the same for working out. You need your cardio, you need some kind of like strength training, whether it's weightlifting like me or Aaron's style of strength training, which is a little, it's more unique. But as long as you balance everything out, then you're overall going to be healthy.
Yeah. I mean, I could really just talk about, I guess, my different activities all day long, but we are talking
You
about,
always have some fun.
yeah, because I really could. My recent, oh, no, okay. No, we're getting back on track, everybody. We're going back to our friend Google Gemini. I think Dr. Tom both and I both agree that it's if you're going to be a peak athlete, you can't really do hybrid training. But if you want to be sort of a master of none, which is probably good for most people like us who aren't going to be in any huge competitions that we're trying to win, it's probably not a bad thing. It's probably a good idea to go for something like that.
Your everyday average Joe. That's what you want to do.
Yeah. And now, sir, do we want to talk about some tech as having to do with health and fitness? Do we want to talk a little bit about nutrition? Or do we want to talk about, some other social and community trends? What are we thinking here?
Let's take a look at the nutrition. I'm always interested in nutrition. Now, like my knowledge of nutrition kind of varies, but I'm always like down to have a little say on some stuff.
Yeah, so let's pop up what Gemini has here on nutrition. And the first thing we see, fiber is the new protein in 2026. The conversation has shifted from calorie counting to microbiome optimization. Fiber maxing is following the protein everything era. Creators are now obsessed with hitting high fiber goals for gut health and
Call
blood
me
sugar
old.
stability.
I don't know anybody who's trying to max out their fiber. This is something new, and I'm excited to see what comes of it on Instagram. Um, us talking about it now, I'm sure it's going to end up popping up on there at some point. But I've never heard of fiber maxing. Protein is the number one source for building muscle and everything too. Fiber is important. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to say like I'm not knocking fiber. I'm just saying never heard of fiber maxing. Do you need a good amount of fiber in your diet? Of course you do. I have plenty of like friends who try to make sure that they get their fiber intake in, but not maxing it out.
Yeah, I think that's a weird one. I also haven't heard of it. I mean, obviously, maybe not obviously, fiber is important to get your bowel movements to work properly. So if you're having
Yeah.
trouble with bowel movements, that's probably the first thing you think about. Eat some prunes. Uh, why can I not think of any other food with fiber? But you got to make sure you have those if you're having trouble. Also, just water intake is important. But as
Oh yeah.
far as like really maximizing your health and fitness, I don't know if I really think of fiber as the most important thing.
It's important for, using the restroom, and having it does also help you process carbs and sugars and everything in your body too. But I wouldn't say it's the new protein. The new protein. You're not gonna see me go buy the newest greatest tub of flavored fiber I'm gonna scoop into my drinks.
Yeah, like, I don't think I'm
I
ever
if
gonna
I were
be.
grabbing a you grabbing a fiber shake, Aaron?
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna.
I'll grab a protein shake that's got some fiber in it.
Protein is one of the big three. It's like big three macros. There's a reason they're called macronutrients. It's because they're the most important when it comes down to it.
Yeah,
Like
and you
you
need the
need,
most of it when it's in your body. Like, you need the most of
yeah.
that.
Not that you don't need micronutrients; those are obviously important as well. But it all starts with the macros. Everything you eat is going to have one of those three macros, aside from alcohol.
Mm.
Alcohol might be in some stuff, but it's going to have one of those three or alcohol. Um, so to say that fiber is the new protein is a little wonky to me, honestly. It's like, what's going on here? I don't know
Yeah,
if
that
I
is
love this
odd.
one. Yeah, this is an iffy one to me.
It's important, but I wouldn't call it
I would
the
say
new
it's a little
protein.
silly. Let's go on to the next one, sir. Does that sound good?
Yeah, just roll through.
Um, the GLP era diet. As medications like Ozempic, Wegovy remain popular, social media is flooded with muscle sparing diets, high protein, nutrient dense meals designed specifically to prevent muscle loss during rapid weight loss. So basically, the idea of taking a weight loss medication or trying to lose a lot of weight and maintain muscle mass as you do it.
Yes. I mean, I think it's important that, like, if you're on one of those medications, there's definitely some supplements that you need to be on. And one of the biggest ones we're finding is actually calcium. To just go off topic for a second, they found that there's actually some issues with bone density on some of these medications. So you want to make sure you're on some kind of calcium supplement they're talking about. But for protein, yeah, the rapid, the rapid weight loss, you want to be able to maintain muscle. So protein intake is super important on there.
I actually think that this is another one that is sort of like a garbage topic, mainly because let me get back to Gemini. Where'd you go? I feel like Ozempic and Wegovy aren't the best for the US. Like everyone always has to have their quick fix that's going to make their health get better as fast as possible. And that's what Ozempic and Wegovy are. But the truth is those are not long-term fixes. If you're relying on a medication to lose weight and you stop taking the medication, there's a good chance that you gain weight. The analogy I make for this is actually gastric bypass surgery. So people assume, oh, I get this gastric bypass surgery. That's going to make it so I lose a bunch of weight and it's going to stay off forever. But if people don't make lifestyle changes, a lot of times they'll get the surgery, they'll lose 50, 100 pounds, and then a year later, they'll gain it all back. Because, yeah, your stomach can expand and it can get back to where you were before if you just keep eating. Same thing with Ozempic. You're not just going to take Ozempic your entire life. You're probably going to lose weight. You're probably going to feel like get that feeling that you're not that hungry, cut calories because of that. But the second you stop taking it, your what's the word for hunger? Your hunger will come back, and you're gonna start eating. You're gonna start eating like a horse again. So it defeats the purpose of using this medication if you don't make like serious lifestyle changes. And even if you make, let's say, a lifestyle change while you're on a medication, the medication is going to make it a lot easier. The second you come off that medication, you're going to start craving those foods that you might not have when you were on it.
See, that's where I semi disagree. Like, I agree with all of it. Like, you want the lifestyle changes, you want to better everything, and like coming off of the medication. I don't think that doesn't necessarily mean it's a guarantee that you're gonna have all of those, addictions for those foods to come back. Like, listen, don't get me wrong. Like, I crave foods all the time. Right now I'm doing a fitness challenge where I can't have any sweets, and I had somebody a nice patient of mine delivered crumble cookies to the office, and I had to watch everyone else eat them. But still, the cravings are still there. But I think it's ultimately a choice. There are addictions with sugar and everything too. But I don't think coming off of the GLP automatically means that it's like, oh, the addictions are going to come back and it's going to go back. It ultimately comes down to the lifestyle change and the person's will to want to maintain what's there.
Yeah, you're right. Like, there's never a black and white in health and fitness in general.
We have a
But
lot of professors that have used to tell us, Aaron, and it's a gray area, gray
yeah,
shirt.
it's gray, but the likelihood if you don't make changes is going to be a lot higher, meaning lifestyle changes. I mean, yeah, you are right though.
Absolutely.
I just changing my mind a little bit. Not everybody is going to have that happen to them, but it happens a lot. It happens a lot more than you think, and it does bother me a little bit when celebrities like Serena Williams are like the poster child for Ozempic. Like, it's just like that's the health thing that you really want to push. Like, maybe she did use it, maybe she lost a little bit of weight, but she also has more money than 99% of people in the world and is able to just hire personal trainers, have the perfect food, and have literally everything perfect for her to lose weight. Like, just
Yeah,
saying that's
I
all
never
one med.
liked when celebrities started to like endorse some of those medications. It's like, listen, I get it. They're sponsors. They're endorsing it. Maybe some of them used it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they had family members who used it and whatnot too. But it's like, don't go endorsing something that I don't know if they're necessarily on. Again, listen, I don't know Serena Williams uh personally. I don't know what who knows, maybe she has diabetes and I'm looking like a big jerk right now. But if you're not on the medication, I don't think you should be endorsing said medication.
Well, yeah. This is all talking about more for weight loss. So
Yeah.
if I'm or if Serena Williams is just using it for diabetes, that's a whole nother story that I take back what I just said. But it doesn't seem like that based on the commercials with her. It seems like it's more based off of weight loss, just solely off the commercials. So for that, like it just makes me feel a little wonky. I don't know if I really like that as much. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, a little weird. How we get into the next thing, sir? So
The
here's
next thing, actually, scroll back over 2 seconds. The blood sugar balancing has always been something I found interesting.
oh
It's right there. Blood sugar balancing. There was a big uptick for a while. I haven't seen it on Instagram in a minute, but the people were like measuring their blood glucose with like monitors who weren't diabetic. They were just they were just fitness athletes and whatnot who were measuring their blood sugar, and they're like, okay, after a workout, I'm doing this, or after I'm like, I love the interest in the intel and the knowledge of it and what your body is doing and whatnot, but your body's gonna just kind of do what it's designed to do. You can't really affect it that much. After you eat, you're gonna have a blood sugar spike. When you're in the middle of a workout, you might have all of a sudden like a glycogen dump from the liver that causes your blood sugar to spike and then rapidly drop back down. But if you're not diabetic, it's just doing its job. Like, you're gonna see, you can't change that. And the research has showed that like you can't affect it unless you actually have diabetes and you need to take insulin or something, or if you're taking metformin, like those are the only ways you can affect it. Otherwise, your body's just running its course, doing its thing. You can get low blood sugar if you don't eat for a while, and then you get all lightheaded and feel crappy, but that has nothing to do with your workouts. Anywho, I saw that on that list and needed to jump on a soapbox because that stuff was wild.
yeah, you are right. I just glanced right over that. That's a wonky one. It's just
Yeah.
like we were talking about the biological age testing a few weeks ago, and the truth is it sort of doesn't matter. Like, is it going to tell you some information? Yeah. Uh, does it pertain to your health? Yeah. Is it something that you should like go and have anxiety and worry about all the time? No, there's a lot of things that are way more important to worry about. Like, even just talking about calories and macros, making sure you don't eat too much is probably more important than knowing, oh, did my sugar go up too much? I guess I am arguing with myself again. Um, I'm having a brain fart again.
Is it about blood
Uh,
sugars?
yeah, at least like if you are having a glucose spike and it's making you feel terrible, at least you can know that you're feeling terrible. But maybe just think about what food you're eating and don't eat it. If it's really making you feel that bad or have a glucose spike, just avoid the food that has the glucose spike. Or like you don't, even if you don't know the glucose in your blood, if you eat a food, you feel a certain way that you feel bad, just don't eat that food anymore. I don't think that's too complicated.
No, it's really not. You're just you're basically just saying like, oh, when you eat a food and you don't feel the greatest, just maybe that food isn't for you. And listen, I'm one to talk. There's certain foods that I go and eat, and I'm like, I know it's gonna make me feel like crap, and I eat it anyway. But I know what contract I'm signing when I go and eat it.
Yeah, and
And
it's
Aaron, we talked about
also
this in another episode that ended up not airing. When you were talking about some farts you were laying down in the household that was potentially lethal to your wife.
yeah, cheese hits me every time. I thought we did talk about that in
So
an episode.
remember that episode glitched, so we ended up re-recording that episode and we didn't get to have that part. But I wanted to make sure the viewers knew about your cheese allergy.
I think we
And
still did it again. I think I still brought it up in the re-recording.
I'm not sure. I thought that failed twice. Either way, if you guys were all wondering, Dr. Aaron, if he eats cheese, almost kills his wife.
Yeah, see, it's true. It's true. It's terrible for her. So I won't. I'm gonna eat cheese. I had some for dinner. Let's go on to the next thing here, sir.
Let's roll.
All right. Do you want to talk about tech? Some new stuff with tech? Do you want to talk about social and community trends?
Let's do social. I mean, I feel like tech is just like, all right, yeah, hey, right now everyone's got their Apple Watch, everyone's got the rings. We kind of know what they do in a sense.
Actually,
They know that they're getting better. Am I wrong?
one interesting thing on here is AI form correction. AI powered apps for form. That I feel like is worth talking about.
All right, let's dive into it.
So basically, AI apps are creators are using AI powered apps to correct people's deadlift, squat. So you don't need an in person trainer anymore. What do you think?
I don't think that AI will ever be able to fully replace, unless you have a 360-degree camera or a drone that can fly around. I don't think it's ever going to be able to fully replace trainers. I don't think it's going to replace therapists. There's just something that the human eye can catch. And also, AI would really need to develop far. And again, I don't want to make the future overlords of the world, the AIs, mad at me for this comment, but it would have to really advance far to understand that each human has their own version and form of things, specifically exercises I'm talking about, that might, get flagged as abnormal. Like, oh, like your knees are going over your toes. That old theory could get flagged. I don't know. I just think like the AI is going to could be more harmful than helpful.
Yeah, I think one of the things I think of is that when you think of form in general, by the book isn't always the best thing for people. Like I have people now, I work in geriatrics for everyone who doesn't know, that do things and if you look at it by the book, it is the ugliest thing ever, but it gets them done what they need to do. So it's actually a very functional way for them to move around and do stuff. Uh, Even though it looks terrible. So AI might just say that's bad and not understand, oh, maybe they're doing this for a reason that's good. Now, if you put all of your medical information, everything in there, you're going to have a better idea. But there's some things that, even with all the information, just isn't going to make sense because it's still going to want to do things perfectly by the book.
Exactly. Plus, is AI going to be able to crack a funny joke as you're doing your exercise to make you feel like you're being more personable? No, that's where I come in. I make stupid comments all day.
Yeah, like if you're doing an exercise and you fart, who's going to say, oh, it's like rocket fuel?
AI ain't laughing with you.
Yeah, yeah. That like the in-person interaction is something that's actually very necessary for this stuff, especially when it comes to having a brain fart. When it comes
The
to the
human connection.
psychological, yeah, human connection, psychological component of therapy or training. When it comes down to it, there's going to be issues that are not physical that you have during training. It might be consistency, keeping yourself motivated or keeping yourself going even when you're not motivated. That's something that AI can send you a message about, but they can't really understand what's happening to you as much as a person will, or maybe not even understand, but like everyone wants empathy nowadays, empathize with people so that they can adjust and, be better with that type of stuff.
100%. 100%. It comes down to that last piece is that human connection that, AI will, in my book, never be able to develop, at least not in our lifetime, but
Yeah,
who
and
knows?
when it comes down to it, you never know with that stuff, but it should be something that you should feel skeptical. And if you're a type of person that doesn't talk to a lot of people, you should probably talk to someone. Whether it's therapy or whether it's just finding some friends at the bar or at school or at work.
What was that one movie where the guy basically fell in love with Siri?
It's like she or something, or
Yeah, or
they
her.
or
It's she or
her.
her.
That was weird.
Yeah, that
That
don't be
that
like that.
that movie was unsettling to me. 'Cause I don't think it processes in my brain to fall in love with a computer, no matter how
Yeah,
nice
no.
that computer is.
That was yeah, don't be like that. Please get outside, exercise, touch grass, make friends.
Yep. One day I will also touch grass.
Before grass becomes AI.
But I think, sir, should we wrap it up with that for the night?
Yeah, we'll dive into a couple more of these in the future too, and we'll see how they go.
Yeah. Everybody watching, put in the comments, put in the chat what you liked about this live stream, what you didn't like. Any other thoughts, comments, concerns, let us know. And our next topic, let us know in the comments. Have a nice night, everybody.